Let's go to Joe, who joins us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Joe, you're on the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Dr. John. How are you guys doing?
We are having a blast. What's it all about for you today?
Okay, so I'm 23. I just graduated college in May, and I'm actually a personal finance teacher. It uses Dave's high school curriculum.
Oh, great. Thank you.
My question is, I have $12,500 left on my student loans, and I do a monthly budget, as I should as a personal finance teacher, I guess.
Yes.
But I have it planned out that I'll be debt-free by the end of summer. So end of August, that's how I have it budgeted out. Because I'm still living at home with my parents, so I'm able to save a lot of money like that. I've already paid off about $20,000.
Good for you.
My question is, though, since they are in deferment till September and there's all this talk about, the possibility of some of the debt being forgiven, I'm not planning on that. But would it be wrong of me to put my money in the savings account that I've budgeted every month until September in case it happens? Then once September hits and it doesn't happen, I just pay that $12,500 off. Because my next step would be buying a house, and it would be an awful feeling in my stomach if I could have had $10,000 gone. I could put that towards a house.
Yeah, that's a very logical question, John. And Joe, I'm going to tell you something. There was a point in my life where it was a possibility that I was going to be able to dunk a basketball. At least that was
Really?
That was the thought. No. It never was a possibility.
No.
I'm making my point here.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it's a possibility that the government's going to pay your loans off. I just don't see it happening. I think it's 1 in a million chance it happens. But to answer your question straightforward, it's not wrong. But that's not what we're going to recommend.
Yeah.
I don't think it's morally wrong. Right. It just puts yourself in a temptation to, if you put that aside and you stop the plan, a plan that you're going to execute in just a few months at the end of the summer, it creates all levels of temptation. And my colleague is far more qualified to talk about the psychological there. And so that's why we're never going to recommend that you do that, but it's not morally wrong.
Joe, here's my heart on it. You're a smart guy. Is that correct?
I think so.
That's like the impossible question.
I know. I set you up here. So you are a smart guy. You wouldn't be a finance teacher.
He's like, no, John.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a moron.
Hey, so at the end of the day, where I struggle with this, as a guy who, me and my wife have 7 degrees between us. We had 6 figures of student loans. And then I started using student loans to consolidate cars and credit cards. I went bananas with the student loans.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Nobody tricked me. I didn't count the cost. I didn't sit there and add them up every semester and see what how deep the hole was. But I didn't know to do that, right? So at the end, was I kind of duped to it? But here's the thing. I signed my name to a piece of paper, and that paper said, "Hey, if you'll help me get through college, I'll pay you back." And so for me, this is an integrity question, and you are somebody who has a blessing in that your parents and you get along. You're allowed to stay there and save up this money. And there's something in my soul that wouldn't sleep right knowing that I waited on the government to bail me out of a choice that I made, an integrity decision, that I signed a piece of paper saying, I'll pay you back because you helped me get through school. And so you have the ability to work really hard and be debt-free on your own 2 feet in a few months. Mm-hmm. And there's a part of me that, as a guy who's walked alongside students for so many years, what I'm going to tell you is you're going to have your head held high, brother. And if you pay it all off in August, in September they say, hey, we're waiving $10,000, you're going to turn around, and what you're going to do is, like most Americans should, you're going to get indignant. You're going to say, wait a minute, I just worked my butt off to complete the agreement that I signed. And you're just going to wipe, and then you're going to say, well, so it is. I stood up on my own 2 feet, and I paid it off.
You can join the Ken Coleman Grumpy Old Man Club, because I paid mine off, and my wife paid hers off when we were married.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think they should defer that. I don't think they should pay these things off. I don't like it. I don't think it's right.
I agree.
All right, then. If you agree, then keep walking it forward.
I just didn't want the FOMO,
Hey, you know what? Listen, you're going to have FOMO whether you just learn now that FOMO is a choice, right? It's a choice.
That's a great call. And you know what else, Joe? You're rocking it, man.
Yeah.
Pay these things off. You can still live with mom and dad a little longer and save up for that house payment or whatever. Take your time. I got to tell you this, John. It's very normal. But now being 46, having gone through the early 20s, I got married at 23, okay? Yeah, I get it. But you don't have to buy a house to prove that you're a success or that you aren't a loser or whatever the narrative is. Joe doesn't have to be in a hurry to buy a house.
It's not that. It's, man, if you get an apartment at 23, you're just pouring your money down the drain. You're just flushing it down the toilet. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You learn how to grow up. You're saving some money outside of mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
Right? And we're not talking about you, Joe. We're talking about anybody who's 23, man, and you have the opportunity to live at home. It's a healthy situation. You pay those loans off really fast. And then go live in an apartment for a few years.
Yeah.
Slow down. Save your money. Let this market cool off. Have cash in your hand and go put down 20, 30, 40% on a house when people need to get out, and you're going to get a great deal on a house.
Yeah.
Just everybody exhale for a second.
Yeah.
Especially you 22, 23, 24-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, renting is not a sin. We got to say that over and over and over.